Hello everyone and welcome to a review that, oh my gosh, requested. So many of you want to see me test out this foundation, and based on reviews online and everything, I think I know why. It's because this is getting rave reviews and it sounds like it is supposed to be perfect for my skin in terms of coverage, in terms of feeling, in terms of type. It's just supposed to be great overall. This is the new Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I got mine in the shade 1.1. It's for Fair Light Neutral, so it should match me very well based on that description. And I feel like in Smashbox I tend to be around this shade here. Ping! But as I was saying, this is supposed to be for me because it's supposed to give a weightless feeling, oil and shine control. It has got amazing reviews, like I said, and it is $36 for a fluid ounce of product. It looks like it comes in 40 different shades, and it looks like it concentrates more in the light and medium range. I feel like Smashbox is usually pretty good about including a very diverse range of products, of colors, of foundation colors. There we go. This one looks a little more limited just based on the swatches and everything on the arms, but who knows, I haven't seen it in person. But this is supposed to be a weightless 24-hour full coverage foundation with oil and shine control that is also waterproof, sweat resistant, and won't look cakey or cause blemishes. I mean, are you kidding me? That is exactly what I want in a foundation. Point blank, period. It's full coverage, matte, and is good for normal, dry, combo, and oily skin, which is a little weird. I feel like if it does have all of these mattifying properties that it claims, I don't know how it would work well on dry skin, but hey, they claim it will. It has both kaolin clay and bamboo powder in it, both of which control oils, and it's also got some nice ingredients, skincare type ingredients in it that are supposed to keep our skin looking lovely. It's also free of all of the bad stuff and synthetic fragrances, thank God. Smashbox is also a cruelty-free brand, and apparently a little goes a long way with this stuff. Like, you're only supposed to need one drop. A drop for your whole face. That is insane. They do say that it sets quickly though, so I guess I'm gonna have to work fast. But yeah, I guess let's go to it. They even emphasize here on the package that a little goes a long way, so okay, I gotcha. It's also hot as Satan's nutsack right now. I don't know what happened. We were going into fall and then all of a sudden summer decided, nope, we have returned. So I have all of the sweat that I can provide to see if this works. I am going to be testing it without primer today. It looks like this might be a bit light on me, so let's hope this doesn't look too light on me. I did try my best when I picked out a shade. I always do try my best. I really do, you guys. But let's see. A drop. So I need half a drop for the first half of my face. I just like want to get all of the sweat off. It is so hot, and like having to turn off my air conditioning and my fans and stuff. I'm dying here because otherwise it's loud on camera. But okay, a drop. This isn't liquidy enough to do a drop, but how's that? Was that too much? I sure hope not. I do try and follow instructions. I really do. I just don't see how this is that really enough for my whole face? Whoa. I mean, it's certainly not enough for my full face, but I'm actually surprised at the amount of coverage that tiny little bit just gave my skin. Got an air bubble. I think it was trying to tell me, Cassie, stop while you're ahead, you're using too much. I'm trying, you guys, this is not a lot, I promise. I don't want to overload on this and make it worse than it needs to be or should be, but I also do want to get the coverage that they say I can get. Maybe I just completely missed it, but I didn't see anywhere that it specified what type of tool you're supposed to use to apply this, so I just used a brush as per usual, and I will be using a sponge on the other half of my face as per usual. But dang! Like, that's basically 2 drops, 1.5 drops. Like I said, I don't know what they consider a drop because this isn't liquidy. It's like I can do a bloop. Like, that to me is a drop. Yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna need a little more on this side since I'm going to be using a sponge, but let's find out, shall we? Oh, the residual cold water on the sponge feels so nice on my face. It's so hot in here. Oh, and I can't take off all my clothes because, I mean, A, just because of my standards, and also because, you know, YouTube. I don't think they would like it if I took all my clothes off. But dang, maybe it's because I think I used a little bit more foundation on this side, but I almost feel like I got better coverage from the sponge, which is surprising. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and use a teeny tiny little bit more on this side to even things out and get the coverage that I am looking for. Did it say that this is buildable? I don't know. I'm still as heck gonna try it. Literally, it makes no sense, but I'm gonna give it a try. But there you go, my friends. There is how it looks on my face as of right now. I really think it looks really good. It feels super lightweight, like I didn't even put anything on. You can still see some discoloration. Why am I filming today when I clearly cannot speak? Because schedules. I like to keep a schedule. But I think it looks really good overall. It looks really natural. I almost don't want to set it with a powder, but I'm going to just to be safe. But overall, I think it looks good right now. I'm excited to keep on testing this throughout my day, where I know I am going to be getting more sweaty because I have more filming to do, which means more time in the non-air conditioning. I've also got a volunteer shift tonight at the animal shelter I volunteer at, which they definitely don't turn the AC on very high, enough to keep the animals comfortable, but also enough to satisfy their nonprofit bill of the establishment they're running. So yeah, we're definitely going to come across sweat. We're certainly going to come across oil, considering it's my face, and I'm excited to take you guys along with me through all of that. So I will see you all in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Alrighty, my friends. Hello, good evening. It's the end of the night. I had to take a shower after getting home from my shift. I always do, but I especially needed to today because I was treating some kitties with some ringworm. So I didn't want that to spread to my animals. I wanted to get that off right away when I got home. So I did, as per usual, check in with you all in terms of showing you what my face looked like, my foundation. So do not despair. I also did check in right before I left to go to my volunteer shift. It had only been about 3.5 hours since I had put the foundation on though, and while I think my nose looked a little bit shiny, I didn't think it was enough to need it to blot. And when I did get home, I had noticed when I took off my head/hair cap, I noticed a ring of foundation along the line of the elastic band of it. And then I also did notice when I got home, I saw that the foundation had come off right there. But other than that, I didn't think it looked too bad. It certainly felt very lightweight throughout my whole shift and throughout the day here. It did seem to cake a little bit on my chin. That might just be because I have some dry spots from some healing breakouts right there. But overall, I didn't think it looked bad, and it did definitely, if I touched my face, transfer with the sweat off of my face. But I mean, other than that, I thought it looked pretty dang decent considering the sweat and the heat and the everything today. I am excited to keep on testing this out with a primer, or with multiple different primers, to keep on testing and see how it's going to end up doing. And as always, I'm excited to do so with you all. So I will see you all in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Alright, hello everyone, good evening. It is the end of the night here and the end of my testing of this foundation. I am so confused. I have a lot of thoughts and I'm here to tell you about them. You saw day 1 of testing. Now on day 2, I went ahead, I used the Smashbox primer, or one of their primers, because, you know, hey, it should work with their foundation too, right? Not to mention I just always test it because I love that primer, but I also went ahead and used my Kaja under eye concealer and only a brush to apply. I was planning on using a brush and then sponge to buff it out, but I didn't feel like I needed to. I felt like the brush made it go on beautifully. It buffed beautifully. It was just beautiful, beautiful. Looked gorgeous and a full-ish coverage with the amount that I used, at least initially. I was testing the foundation this day on a day where here in Minnesota, haha, fall, where's that? We had 91% humidity, so that was a really fun time, but I figured it would be a good, you know, a good day to test this out. I went and got brunch, some pancakes and whatnot with my friend Jacob, and he thought it looked really nice, so that was nice to get his approval as always. And then after that, I just, you know, went grocery shopping and also stopped in at Michael's. I thought I was going to be picking up my Pokemon Cross Stitch, but that ended up not happening. You can watch my live stream if you want to hear about that. But my first check-in, I was super duper oily looking, and there was a slight transfer onto the blotting papers, but it didn't look horrible, at least not initially. But then after the blotting papers, I thought it looked really not so great. It had settled into my nose pores, but the rest of my face looked good, I thought. However, at the end of the night, once again, about 10.5 hours in of wear, I was looking, once again, super oily and just not looking great. It looked really separated and like it was just sitting on top of my nose, really just not looking great, like I said, and plus wiped right off. So on day 3, I was hoping that I could get much better results. I went ahead and I used my Guerlain primer, which tends to give me the best results. And once again, the foundation went on beautifully with just a little tiny bit. I buffed it in with the brush, blended out with a sponge. I thought maybe getting some excess foundation off on the sponge might help, using a lighter layer of the foundation along with this primer. And then I went about my day, mainly just doing chores and getting stuff done around the apartment here, you know, laundry, normal daily sweeping and cleaning up after the cats, getting some YouTube work done, etc. So at the first check-in, it was about 4.5 hours in. I did think I was looking a bit oily, and it was transferring a bit. It also transferred once again onto blotting papers, but I thought it looked a lot better at this point than it had with the Smashbox primer. I thought it looked good on my nose, and just overall thought it looked fine. And I went ahead and ran some errands like usual, went and had trashy TV night with my mom, went and ran more errands. But I'm home again here. I not only feel oily, but I look very oily. I think this looks awful on top of my oils. Again, my nose, it's just sitting on top of my nose. It wipes right off if I touch my skin. Just really unfortunate in that sense, because there are so many other aspects of this foundation that I want to be able to love, but this transferring is just driving me crazy, and the not good lookingness on my nose. So I'm already getting into things here. Let's go over the pros and cons of this foundation. First and foremost, I mean, if you're looking for a full coverage foundation, little goes a long way type of a thing, this one might be for you. This definitely does those things. It really is kind of incredible how well it does at giving you full coverage with just the tiniest little amount. I also find the application to be really easy. You know, it's super blendable with a brush, sponge, both, etc. I think it buffs in gorgeously. It gives the skin a beautiful airbrush. Not too matte, but not satin looking either. Like, it's just really skin-like and a beautiful finish initially, I personally think. And even though it does get oily throughout the day, it feels lightweight all day. It really does. It's one of the more lightweight foundations I've personally ever tried out. It's one of those, it doesn't feel like I'm not wearing foundation. I feel like I'm wearing foundation, but it feels like I'm wearing a very, very lightweight foundation, if you get what I'm saying. However, that is where I get into the cons here. First and foremost being that this promises shine control. I don't... For who? Like, I don't understand. Maybe, didn't this foundation say it was good for all skin types? Maybe it's shine control for people who have dry skin. But if you have oily skin like me, I didn't find it to be oil controlling or shine controlling in the slightest. Also, it transfers. that's a huge, huge con. It just makes me not want to touch my face, and it's so, I hate having to be worried about if my face itches, if I just go to like very lightly scratch at my face, or like if I go to hug somebody, be like, oh, don't get my face on your shirt, especially since I am a short little bean. I usually am always getting hugged into someone's like this area, aka where they would have a shirt. Oh, it's so frustrating. And that's really mainly it. I guess also that it doesn't seem to do well with oils on the skin, in that it ends... Galileo agrees. But yeah, it really just doesn't do well with oils. That is when it starts to like separate from my skin, no matter what type of primer or no primer that I use. That's when it separates, that's when it looks bad in my nose pores, that's when it transfers. So basically what I'm saying is, if you have oily skin, I don't know that I would suggest this foundation. I'm gonna keep on trying it as like a mix-in if I want to make certain foundations have more coverage to them and see how that does. Just since it is so lightweight and stuff, I could really see it working for that. I just, you know, maybe during the winter too, like fall, winter, once we stop being in the 80 to 90% humidity here in Minnesota, and once we finally get under 90, 80 degrees here during the day. Fall, where are you? Apparently you have come, but I have yet to feel it. But yeah, for now, I'm saying if you have oily skin, I would personally pass on the foundation, which is a bummer because it does have really good points to it. But I just, for me personally, what I like out of my foundation, this doesn't cut it for me. I would say this would probably work best for people with normal skin. Yes, but you all should definitely let me know in the comments down below if you have tried out this foundation. How did it work for you? What kind of skin do you have? Also, hello to the lovely person that said hello to me at Target tonight. So sweet of you. I'm sorry. I look like an absolute bum, I feel like, at the times when you guys see me, or at least, you know, say hello to me. But in any case, it was nice to say hello to you. It seemed like you were busy on the phone and stuff, so I didn't stick around to chat or anything, but thanks for saying hi. If you want to make yourself known in the comments down below, I'd love to say hello to you again. Also, just, yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in this foundation after my review, if it was helpful for you. Just tell me all of the things in the comments down below. What foundations are you excited to see me test next? I do love hearing from you guys. You can also let me know if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful by giving it a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you are new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below. You can become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!